This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by WDWWallpaper.com, where you can download on iTunes for just 99 cents and get pictures from Walt Disney World on your iPhone, iPad, or iTouch. Enjoy the magic of Disney World every day. WDW Pix brings over 40 high-quality photos to your device to use as backgrounds and wallpapers. Wallpapers from the Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Disney's Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and the Disney Resorts. Disney World images right on your iPhone or iPad.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Monday, September 13th, 2010, and this is episode 772 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
Enough of your words.
Oh.
The American Adventure.
And who said it?
The Indian
guy.
His name is Chief Joseph.
Oh, yes.
Is it it's Chief Joseph. That's right, yeah. Also on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse Rodeo, and he's also a member of the Amalgamated Union of Philosophers, Sages, Luminaries, and Other Thinking Persons. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Wow. I don't even know what that is.
It's a very prestigious group you're
it must be
line with there, Mike.
It must be. Listen, happy anniversary, by the way.
Yes. Yesterday was our 5-year anniversary of WDW Today.
If the podcast was a person, we'd be sending it off to kindergarten.
That's right. Congratulations. 5 years.
And it only took us 5 years to get rid of a dead weight that we don't need to mention, but his name rhymes with Ben. But joining us on today's show is Fred Hazelton, who's the master statistician of touringplans.com and the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome to the show, Fred.
Thank you, Matt. Looking forward to being a part of the team for the next 5 years.
So on today's show, we're going to be going back to a topic we had discussed before, which is looking at the A through E tickets. We did Epcot in episode 655, and then we did Disney's Hollywood Studios in episode 754. And today, we're going to venture over to Animal Kingdom, where we're going to be talking about the attractions and if they would be an A ticket, a B ticket, a C ticket, a D ticket, or an E ticket attraction. Again, for scope, but just for posterity and for anyone who's unaware, could you please explain to our listeners the differences between the tickets real quick?
This stems back when Disneyland and Disney World first opened up, and guests would purchase an admission, and then within that admission would also include some tickets, but you would run out of the tickets. There would be A tickets, B, C, D, and E, and each ticket designated the level of thrill, if you will, for each attraction. For instance, Space Mountain would have been an E ticket. Things like that. Something like the Swan Boats, when the Swan Boats were roaming around the castle, those were A tickets or B tickets. I don't remember myself. But what we're doing is we're going through all the parks today, and we're using our own judgment as to, which of the attractions are the most exciting, the headliners, the thrill makers, and which ones are not quite there or maybe never going to be there. So we're going through and we're giving our own opinions as to which attractions would be A, B, C, D, or E.
Perfect. Let's start out in Discovery Island. And you have there the Tree of Life. And It's Tough to Be a Bug is the attraction that you'll find on Discovery Island. So let's start, Newell, with you. Tough to Be a Bug. Which ticket level would you give that attraction?
Wow. I was hoping you did that last, but I'm thinking it's a C. It's a little bit frightening for the younger ones, especially. I don't think any of us have not been in there when there's some heavy screaming and yelling going on.
That includes younger mothers as well.
And Matt.
Anybody that doesn't like spiders.
And Matt.
And Matt.
But yeah, I like it. I always, every time I'm in the Animal Kingdom, I make sure I go see it. To me, I think it's a good C.
Fred?
Yeah, I think I would agree. I would say it would probably a C, maybe even a D. I think it would compare to the other 3D shows in the other parks. I don't recall what rating you gave to those, but it'd probably be the same as that.
Okay, Mike?
I think that when I'm going through this and doing this, Matt, I'm looking at the theme park as a whole, and I'm trying to, like Fred said, I'm comparing the attraction to the others, and because of that, because of what's in Animal Kingdom, I'm going to say it's a C.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty close to a D, but I'm going to say it's a C.
Yeah, I would say definitely. I think C is a fair thing to say. So I totally agree with all you guys.
It'd be interesting for as the Animal Kingdom as an example, because there's not as many attractions. They might, if Disney was actually going to do this, they might feel some pressure to kind of, bump some of these things up to make it seem like there's more sort of big attractions there. Like in other parks, you have lots of sort of different options, but the Animal Kingdom, there might only be a couple like D and E attractions.
Right. Good point. Well, let's move on to we'll go around the hub over here, starting with Camp Mini Mickey, and you have Festival of the Lion King, something I still haven't seen yet.
You haven't seen it?
I still never got around to seeing it.
Oh,
Wow.
that's incredible!
Yeah.
I think it's the best live show in all of Walt Disney World.
Wow. So what letter grade would you give it, Fred?
Oh wow, I probably would. Oh man, can you give a show an E ticket? Probably not. So probably a D ticket. I would say it's a solid D ticket.
Wow, really? That high?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow. Scupa, what about you?
Oh yeah, I'm with Fred on this. If I could give, I don't know if there's ever been a show that would get an E. But if there was one, it would be this one. I'm going to give it a D because it's very Broadway-like. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of atmosphere. It's just a good feel kind of an attraction. So I'd give it a solid D.
Okay. Mike?
I couldn't agree any more than what everybody else has said. So yeah, same thing. Solid D.
Solid D. Okay. Very good. Let's move on to, that's easy, Africa, Kilimanjaro Safaris. And I'll start things off here. I think you got to give it an E ticket. It's one of the premier attractions in Animal Kingdom, one of the more popular. Obviously, it's a great attraction. It's very cool to be on that. You never know what's going to happen on there, and I definitely think it qualifies for that e-ticket attraction. What about you, Fred?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look back to before Expedition Everest was around, this was it, right? This was the key headliner attraction. So yeah, it has to be an e-ticket for sure.
Noel?
Totally agree. E-ticket. I wish they changed up the show a little bit in the vehicle. Narration that I wish they changed a little bit.
You bring up a great point, Noel. Recently, if you recall, there used to be a lot more of a story to it. You were on safari and there are poachers coming, and you went to go chase the poachers. And now the story is still there, but it's a little more subdued. Right. We never really discussed it on the show. So, Scuba, what do you think of the new show with the? It's you still chase the poachers at the end in order to wrap up your 2-week safari vacation, but it's a lot. There's the rangers kind of pretty much gone, and now it's just again, the story isn't as quite developed. What do you think of the changes compared to what it used to be, Mike?
Well, I think I'm a proponent of changing these things from time to time, and I think that when you do change, they should change for the better. In this case, I'm not sure if it changed for the better. I liked the old one better. I liked the original one. I liked the storyline. It was really good. Everybody got into it. I remember being on the vehicles and the guests really, really having a good time. I'm not sure if the storyline, this version is as good. So my preference would be to turn it back to the original. But if I'm going to give it a ticket, I'm going to give it a. I'm channeling Fred Hazelton tonight, so I'm thinking I'm going to give it a D because, like Fred, I was thinking the same thing. Prior to Everest making its appearance, the headliner, the showcase attraction for this theme park was the safaris.
So you're giving it a D or an E?
Giving it a D. Oh, I'm giving it an E. I'm sorry, giving it an E.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. But I agree with you, Mike. I like the old show a little bit. I mean, it was kind of campy, and the he's not a ranger, he's the warden.
Right.
He was kind of like funny in his own little way. Like he yelled at the lady for calling it a
Thompson's Gazelle. Yeah.
Thompson's Gazelle. No one calls it a Thompson's Gazelle. They're dummies. Like
dummies.
Dummy. Like, that was the kind of like the way he said it. It's kind of funny in that way. I mean, I don't mind the old one. I don't think it's an improvement by any means, but it's still it's okay. It doesn't really bother me. It's not like it's like akin to when they changed Journey into Imagination, the Figment ride, and they went to that second version, which was awful.
Yeah.
The
one thing I like about the new version is that I like this attraction a lot because it has a lot of repeat experience value.
Yeah.
Like you can go on it again and again, and you never know what those animals are going to be doing.
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah.
Yeah, whenever when you mentioned that, Fred, I immediately thought of Scope. You can tell the story really quickly. I believe it was Mouse Fest one year. You were on the safari, and something almost happened that the driver drove away from all too quickly.
Yeah, we were going by the area that had the
Alligators.
The alligators and I don't know if there was the pelicans or whatever they were. What were they? There were some birds, and the birds were kind of playing chicken with the alligators. There was one bird who sort of, I mean, if you could read the bird's mind, the bird was looking at the alligator, who's maybe 5 feet away, and the bird was saying, "Come on, give me your best shot," And the alligator was slowly getting closer and closer, and we were hoping that the vehicle would not be going too fast because we were going to miss it. And I can remember Fred Block was sitting next to me, and we were hoping that we were going to see something really interesting, like we were really in Africa, but it never happened.
Let's not forget that the animals are the real show. Even though we've been talking about the recorded part, the animals are the real show.
Yeah, great point. I mean, I'm sure you've all been stuck on the attraction once or twice because there's an animal who's decided that it needs to sit right in the middle of the road. And you just have to sit there, and it is interesting. It's interesting how like Fred said, it's always a different show each time you see it. So it's kind of nice.
I think that the new the backstory kind of plays up the fact that it's about the it's more about the animals now than it is about that plot, which I kind of like.
Right. All right, Newell. Let's move on to here's an interesting one: the Pangani Forest Expedition Trail, and there's also the Maharaja Jungle Trek, which I suspect both will get the same rating, unless I'm mistaken. But what do you think of the exploration trails? What would you give those, Mike?
I love the trails.
Really?
They're one of my favorite parts of the Animal Kingdom. Me and Mary walk through them all the time. Even though it's very, very hot when you walk through them. Even though I'm only going to give it an A, I still think they're one of the best parts of the park.
Interesting. I think A is the right answer, Mike. It's not. Yeah. And again, a lot of these ratings aren't necessarily reflections on the attraction. Like A tickets are terrible attractions, and E tickets are awesome attractions.
Absolutely.
You can have a lot of great attractions that are A or B tickets, and it's just because of the nature of the attraction more than anything.
There are some great sights to see on those trails, and you go through the Gorilla House, and it's just a lot of fun. But
I know my wife loves those stupid naked mole rats, which I think are disgusting.
Oh, that part that's great. That's one of my favorite parts.
I bypass that. I'll see you on the other side. Wait for you. What about you, Fred?
I would agree. Yeah, I think they're both probably A tickets. The only exception might be, it seems like the Pangani Forest Trail in Africa. They always seem to be encouraging people to go there. I don't know if it's just poorly marked or it just doesn't get a lot of traffic or enough traffic. I wonder if they might make that one an A and make the Maharaja Jungle Trek a B, just because it doesn't seem to have that problem. I don't know. Although I think they're both, it's the same amount of entertainment, so I don't know why they wouldn't both be an A.
Right. Scopa?
I'm actually giving both of them a B because from what I remember, what A's and B's were in Magic Kingdom, I'm kind of leaning towards giving both of them B's because they're kind of interesting. They're really, it's fascinating to watch the animals. And I also have a couple of attractions down here that are getting A's, and I'm looking at the A's and I'm saying, oh, the trails and the truck, it's a little bit better than these A's. So that's the reason why I'm giving it a B.
Okay. How about Rafiki's Planet Watch? This is a little interesting. I mean, you've got the train that brings you there, and then the actual conservation station area over there. So I'll let you guys decide. It's up to you if you want to group it all into one or you want to break them up. But Rafiki's Planet Watch, Scopa, what do you think?
That's one that really falls in line with the Jungle Trek and the Pangani Forest Exploration. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I think they're pretty much the same. So I'm going to give Rafiki a B.
Okay. I would say, and don't forget, there are some things that were free. That was also another thing that we should mention. Yeah. So that's obviously in the pool. I would say the train is free, and the conservation station would be, I think I'd give it a B. Yeah. In my little list here, I haven't given anyone a B yet, so I would give conservation station a B, and you can keep the little petting area with the goats that have hidden Mickeys on them. Keep that free or something. That way you can take the train, get over there, and do something without spending a ticket. But that's my thoughts on that. Fred?
I probably would go a little bit higher. I probably would give the whole thing a C. I just think because it's if it was treated as one attraction when you hop on the train and do everything, then there's quite a few things to do. Like you can go watch those, the animal lab there, the veterinarian's lab, and then you've got those little rooms where you can listen to the audio and all those things. None of those things individually are particularly that interesting, but I think when you put them all together, it might make it up to like a C ticket.
Okay. Newell?
I kind of agree with Fred. The whole idea of the steam train kind of, I think, ups it a notch. That's something you don't really see anywhere else but the Magic Kingdom. So I kind of like that idea. So if we're going to group it, I'm going to give it a C.
Okay.
By the way, I think that train should just continue going. It should go from the TTC to the Animal Kingdom as like a back entrance. That's just my imagineering 2 cents.
That would be awesome.
I think that'd be cool to have that train go all the way to the TTC or something.
That would be pretty interesting. Huh. All right, let's move on to Asia and Expedition Everest. Anyone not going to give it an E?
That should be a freebie. No way. That's definitely E. It's one of the best roller coasters I've ever been on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just too bad they can't get the Yeti to work.
Well, okay. Well, that brings up a good point. Do we knock it down a little bit because of that?
No, I don't think that. I mean, I would love to out of being petty, but I don't think that would be a realistic thing to do.
Well, he makes a good point, because when they were promoting the building of Everest, they kept on saying, they kept on talking about the Yeti, the Yeti, the Yeti. It's going to be the largest animatronic figure ever built. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. And now it's like in B mode or whatever. So I mean, Mike makes a good point. I mean, I still think it's. I mean, the majority of the rating should go on the actual experience, and it's the roller coaster. It's going backwards in the whole business. But he makes a good point about that Yeti, and why can't they fix it?
Yeah. Well, I totally agree with you guys. I mean, I really hope that thing gets fixed much sooner than later, because it's been way too long at this point already. All right, how about, so we're all in agreement, E-ticket. Let's move on to Flights of Wonder, an interesting attraction, a good show as well. I'll go first. Flights of Wonder, I'm torn between a C or a D. I'm going to go with C. My reasoning for C is I don't think Flights of Wonder is on the same level as, presumably Festival of the Lion King, or even It's Tough to Be a Bug. I think it's just one little notch below it. It's not. I mean, the show is fun, entertaining. I think I kind of wish they would get rid of the stupid fake tourist guide bit. I think it gets a little old and it's a little too see-through. But the animals are really amazing in this, and you really get a real appreciation for birds after this. I really do believe that. But I'm going with C on this one, and you guys may disagree with me on that. But Newell, what do you think?
Yeah, I love the show. The live birds part, the human part. It could use a little work. I agree. It's been the same for quite a while. As far as live animals are concerned, I've always loved live animal shows. So that I would probably give a C to. I would up it if they changed the human portion of the show. I would probably give it a D if they improve that part. Okay. But as it stands today, I would give it a C.
Fred?
Yeah, I was thinking C as well. This is one of the great sleeper attractions at anywhere at Walt Disney World. But I would give it a C just because it's kind of a smaller venue. Right. You can't compare it to like Nemo or Festival of the Lion King, which are really, really good shows.
Right.
But by giving it a C, no way says that you shouldn't see this. I think it's a great show.
Scopa?
I dropped it. I gave it a C because unlike the Exploration Trail and the Jungle Trek, there's some exceptional animals here, and there's some really, really interesting interaction between the audience and the animals. And so for that reason, I don't think it's a B. I think it's a C. I didn't give it a D because I don't think it's on the same level as The Lion King. So it's right in the middle. So it's a C. I think it's a solid C.
Okay. Let's go over to Dinoland USA, and let's start with my favorite attraction, Dinosaur. Why don't you take it away, Fred?
Your Matt's favorite dinosaur. Awesome. Yeah, well, I think this is probably, there's no question this would be an E ticket to me. Big, scary ride. Decent amount of thrill to it. And, one of the few attractions that would even qualify as an E ticket in Animal Kingdom. So I think it would be an E for sure.
Scopa?
Prior to Everest, this was the big thrill ride in Animal Kingdom when it was called the Countdown to Extinction. And it was very popular. Everybody wanted to go to it. It was the thrill ride. So it will always be an E for me.
Yeah.
See, I disagree with you guys. I
Of
think
course
D.
you do.
I think
Of course you disagree.
Of course you
it's the reason why I say that is, to me, Dinosaur is on line with like Star Tours, like that kind of a. It's like that one tier down from the top tier attractions. Maybe when the park first opened, they had to make it an E just for the sake of having it. But I think today, you got it. To me, I think it's a D ticket attraction just because it's just not on the same level as Everest or the safaris. And you know, I mean, that's just my feeling for it. I just feel it's just it's one step down from the top, in my opinion.
I feel the same way about the Tara Tara.
Shut up, Mike. Newell?
I disagree with you. I think it's definitely an E. I couldn't compare it to Star Tours because
Star Tours.
Star Tours.
What?
Star Tours is a simulator. This is an actual. I mean, you get in a ride vehicle, and the technology in that ride and that attraction is still pretty cool, pretty amazing. Even though it's 10 years old now or whatever it is, it's still pretty cool. So I just for that reason alone, and like Mike and Fred said, there's still that thrill factor there. It's you still riding there and going, oh wow. So yeah, definitely E.
Okay. Let's go to the Boneyard.
XM49. Oh, okay.
Isn't it 44?
Oh, it's 53 actually. XM53.
53. All right. Anyway,
Sorry.
we digress. Boneyard in Dino Land. Newell, since you have a great joke, why don't you take the legit answer?
Oh, I honestly can't remember the last time I was there.
I remember I took my kid there. We were there for about 15 seconds. He got sand in his eye, and we had to wash it out, and then we left.
Yeah,
That was it.
Yeah, it's a big sandbox. I mean, it's
That's
kind of
giant
cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'd give it an A probably.
You get much lower than that.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's not to negatize it, but that's not to make it negative. But
Yeah, it's just a diversion. It's just kind of something
It's
to
cool.
occupy some time. It's it's interesting, but
I wouldn't go out of
I'd
my
probably give it an A.
I wouldn't go out of my way to find it. If I happen to be passing by it, I may stop. But it's not the kind of ride you rush from rope drop to get to. Or the
Before I give you my answer for this, Scopa, what were some examples of free attractions in the Magic Kingdom?
Oh boy.
if you had
Free
wings,
attractions.
was free.
Main Street Cinema.
Yep. Mickey's
Main Street
Review.
Cinema was one. Yep. Wow, there weren't that many.
Wasn't like Dream Flight or something like that because it was sponsored.
If you had wings, yeah.
For a while, there, Hall of Presidents was the first year it was out. It was free. But there weren't too many. I'm trying to think if there was something going on at the Golden Horseshoe. You could just walk in there, maybe. Of course, all the entertainment was free.
That's basically based on those. I'm kind of leaning towards free for Boneyard. I think for a crowd control aspect, you made it free. I think I could see it really getting really crowded over there. So an A ticket might be necessary more than anything.
Yeah.
So somewhere between that there and there, I could live with both. Scopa, what's your thoughts on the Boneyard?
Yeah, I'd give it an A.
Okay.
Give it an A.
Speaking of favorite attractions, how about Primeval Whirl?
Len seems to like it a lot.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a great photo op. Gets an A for that.
Fred, what do you think of Primeval Whirl?
Oh man, what would they give this? This is probably going to be, as much as I hate to say it, it's probably going to be a D ticket because it's got it's one of the few kind of pure rides.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, I'd hate to encourage more rides like this. But I suspect they probably would give it a D ticket.
Scopa?
Because of what I'm giving D's, I have to give anything in Dino Land, with the exception of Dinosaurs, going to get a very weak C from me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think
There's no imagination, Fred. There's no imagination there with any of these things, really.
yeah.
No, for sure. I mean, I'm not a fan of the attraction, but I'm just thinking, in terms of things that kids especially would ride that would give them a little bit of thrill. This is the only thing. I
I have to agree with Scope on this. I give it a C. I just don't, even on my scale, I had Dinosaur at a D. There's no way I'm putting Dinosaur and Primeval Whirl on the
That's
same
true.
on the same category. So
No.
I'm definitely giving it a C. Of course, I wish they got rid of the whole thing, but that's another neither here nor there. What do you think, Newell?
Yeah, for what it is, it's a C. I mean, it's probably if it was in a carnival, it'd probably be a little more prestigious, but here, not so much.
How about its little neighbor to the next door, Triceratops Spin?
Chester and Hester.
Nothing like southern dinosaurs to get you going. Triceratops Spin.
It's another carnival ride.
Yeah, it's also a Dumbo clone.
Yeah.
Not quite as beloved.
B. I'd give it a B.
Yeah,
B?
probably a
Yeah.
B.
You go up and you go down while you spin around. There's not much,
I'd give it an A. Like for the scope, for the same reason Scopa gave Primeval Whirl a C, lack of imagination. Triceratops Spin, I give it an A, just to toss the people a bone.
Get it? Bone?
Yeah.
Oh no, that pun was totally unintended, but I'll take it. Fred?
Yeah, at most a B, but it would be a weak B for that. For that, I just like you guys. I'm comparing to things that I would have said an A. Like to me, an A is something that's kind of like a diversion that you walk through. It's kind of experience. At least this is, it actually moves. Something happens.
No, this is a diversion to divert your attention from what should be a better part of the theme park.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like pay no attention to this bad place. Anyway, sorry, I'm letting my personal feelings filter in here. All right, finally, Scopa, sorry. The
Yeah,
Triceratops
I
Spin.
think it was going to. I'm trying to remember what Dumbo was back when. I don't remember, but we're in the year 2010, so I'm going to give it a B.
All right, so why don't you lead us off here with Finding Nemo the musical?
Finding Nemo the musical, along the same line as The Lion King. I'm going to give it a D, but it's very close to being an E because of the puppetry, because of the talent, because of the quality of the songs and everything. I mean, it's really close to an E. I'm almost tempted to give it an E. I'd give it maybe a D plus. That's how good I think it is.
I love Finding Nemo the musical. I think it's a great show. Awesome music. I mean, it really is Broadway caliber because they actually had Broadway producers. People, if I'm not mistaken, it's the same people who did Avenue Q on Broadway. They got the same people to write the music for this, and it's really that good. I love it. I think it's wonderfully executed. Great cast, great music. And considering these songs are totally made up because there were no songs like this in the movie, they really do a fantastic job with it. I would say E-Ticket because there's not that many shows of it, and you can see its popularity. It's still very big. I mean, they had to institute that lunch package over there at Tusker House to help
Right.
people out there, and I think that for that reason and others, I'm leaning toward. I'm going to give it an E. Just that's how strongly I feel about it. Noel, what do you think?
I may agree with you. If I could give one live show in a theme park, an E-Ticket, I think it would be this. The music, like you said, the music is fantastic. The puppetry is incredible. Here I am, 40-something years old, and I was amazed at what we saw. And I was sitting there like a little kid, and I had one of the greatest times at a live show. So yeah, absolutely. If I had to give one live show an E-Ticket, it might be that one.
Cool, Fred.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I would probably keep it as a D though, like a really strong D. But I think it's a.
I was gonna say, I guess you could disagree.
Well, I guess I could. I can do whatever I want. I guess I'm on the podcast now. But yeah, I think I would give it a D. I don't know, just something feels wrong about giving a show an E-Ticket. Although I guess something like Phantasmic could be an E-Ticket or some of those big things. But I don't know. I still think that Festival of the Lion King is neck and neck with the Nemo show. I think the Festival of the Lion King is a little bit smaller scale. But because in that case the music is all very well known, it has kind of a lot more, appeal in the moment. I think the Nemo stuff I appreciate it for a different reason because it's original, because it's so different from everything else that you see, and because they came up with their own musical score.
Right.
But yeah, it's a great show, solid D.
Hey, did we forget Kali River Rapids?
Yep.
We did.
I believe we did.
My apologies. I'm looking through it. I'm like, wait, I think we forgot it. So our last attraction is Kali River Rapids. This is a tough one.
It is a tough
I will
one.
let
Yeah.
one of you answer first. Fred, go for it.
Over to you, Newell. What do you think?
I think it's a C. If it was longer, it would be a D.
Yeah.
My big disappointment is that it ends
so
so fast. That's my big disappointment. It ends too fast. If it was any bit longer, it would so be a D.
Yeah, it's so disappointing because of how short it is. All you do is you go through you go up the brings you to the top basically to the you go through the burning of the rainforest. You go to the drop and that's it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The effects are really cool, but oh man, it just needed to be another 30 seconds to a minute longer.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, C is what I'd give it. To be fair, Fred.
Yeah, this is a C at best. This is the other than Dino Land, this is the biggest disappointment in Animal Kingdom. It's I mean, those rides are so fun, and they have Grizzly River Run at DCA in California, which is a great ride. It's about 3 times as long as Cali River Rapids, and it's so much fun. So I don't know why they couldn't extend Cali River Rapids. It's just so short. Like it just needs to be longer.
Okay, Scopa.
The concept and everything really makes you want to give it a D. But beyond the concept, and I've noticed this about many rides. Sometimes I say to myself, if it was just another 15 seconds, 30 seconds, or maybe even, another minute, I think I'd really, feel a lot better about it. So I'm giving it a C. And if it was maybe another minute longer, I'd probably give it a D.
Good. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Don't forget this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by WDWWallpaper.com, where you can find pictures from Walt Disney World on your iPhone, iPad, or iTouch. Enjoy the magic of Disney World every day. WDW Pix brings over 40 high-quality photos to your device to use as backgrounds and wallpapers. Wallpapers from the Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Disney's Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and the Disney Resorts. Disney World images right on your iPhone or iPad. WDWWallpaper.com. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, you can visit us on the WDW Today website at WDWToday.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, WDW Today Podcast on Twitter. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and Fred Hazelton, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.